with impunity. The previous speakers have addressed you on one important aspect of the People's National Congress, now converted to APNU, now joined with the AFC, and all pursuing a hereditary belief, a hereditary practice ingrained in their bones. It is all about intimidation. The moment you got anything to say against the PNC, the APNU, they swarm like me and they abuse you. They try to intimidate you into silence. And they bully. Their history is all about intimidation and bullyism taken to its extreme when you saw the assassination of our notable son, Dr. Walter Rodney. And my friends, residents of Kitty, I say to you tonight, you have absolutely no reason to believe that this has changed. The main fact, the very same people, check it out, the very same people who practice that intimidation, that bullyism, that assault on democratic practices are today dressed up in their greens and their yellows and coming before you like pretty lambs, and they have your unity at heart. Who could believe that the David Granger of the 1978s and the 1980s, swearing allegiance to the People's National Congress, disregarding his oath as an officer of the Ghana Defense Force to do his job as an officer without fear and favor, and snatching ballot boxes and killing guys who dare to oppose them in this undemocratic practice. And this man today is so bold-faced to say to you that the efforts that you are making to get the truth to the Commission of Inquiry is a waste of time. And not only that, is supreme arrogance. Instead of shutting his mouth and having nothing to say, he actually warns you. I don't forget. And if I ever get in power, one of the first things I will do is close down the Commission of Inquiry. I don't want to hear, and you, the Guyanese, must never know. What kind of government can such a man bring to bear on this country of ours? What kind of government, as an alternative to what you have enjoyed and experienced over the last 23 years, what kind of government can such a despot bring to bear on the other? And we have to say to the Grangers of this world that we will pursue the truth. We will pursue the truth. Take it wherever we will. And we will find out. And we will make all of those who are responsible for what happened in that era to be responsible. Trotman said, yes. Trotman said, we need to apologize to the Guyanese people. But you have a bunch of militaristic leaders of APNU who feel we have nothing to apologize. We don't owe anybody any explanation. We can do as we please. We can operate that we are a credible alternative to the People's Progressive Party Civic. My friends, it is not only the individuals that are so repugnant. It is not only the individuals that are an insult to the intelligence of Guyanese. We have to go back to statements they made about their policies. And Kwame is right. Kwame is right. When you want to undertake the job of leading, when you want to replace the champion, you gotta be better than the champion. You gotta be better. You do not belong in the ring. You can't get any Lagu Bagu and throw them in the ring with Muhammad Ali. You gotta come good. And at the end of the day, what do we mean by come good? It got to do with your merit, your performance. What have you done to displace the champion? And it's pathetic. And I can only say that they are preying on the spirit of Guyanese to allow them to peddle this trash, this crap that they're producing as the alternative. And this talk about unifying Guyana, I want to say to Granger, I want to say to Nagamutu, if what has been done in the last 23 years is done by a disunited Guyana, two things. They had a lot to do with it. And if they had worked with the executive government, President Donald Ramatar, we would have done so much better. Yes, 9 years of growth, but we would have had double the growth, and we would have achieved what we lost in those 28 years, a whole generation. You know, the old people say, a mind is too precious to waste. And the old people say, we can't find in the broad daylight, now worry about looking in the dark. And we, the Guyanese people, have to put this scourge, this PNC, this AFNO, this AFC, we got to put them in their place, behind us, not in front, behind us. Yes, they want us to forget the past, and we say yes. We going to forget the past, we going to forget the PNC, we going to forget AFNO, we going to forget AFC, we will comprehensively forget the past. My friends, residents of Kitty, it's good and it's wholesome about what the PPP has done. We don't have any need to convince anyone in Guyana or out of Guyana of what the PPP Civic has done since 1992. My friends, all over the world, Guyanese are walking proud because of the post-1992 developments. And Guyanese know, they remember 1992, what they said would happen on the Cherry Jaron. This communist, this man who don't believe in religion, they gonna wreck this country and one set of cane cutter and rent farmers and stevedore when they run in this country. Well, I say this to you, my friends, and I say this with the utmost conviction. If it comes to knowledge, we should be premier among these countries because we ain't short of brain power. We ain't short of brain power. Guyanese have shown their natural intelligence, their ability to learn, to practice, and to achieve. But bro, I tell you one thing, when you add up and you put them in power, is shit hit the fan. You don't get wrecked up. And this is what the PNC did. They had the intelligence. They had the knowledge. But power corrupts, and power comprehensively and utterly corrupts. And this is what happened to the People's National Congress. And that is why when they tell you, we belabor the past, we have to say to them, the past has a nasty habit of repeating itself and having sacrifice. I was here with you. I came home in 1980 after spending over a decade out of this country. And I was here in the bad times until 1992. And I saw, and I walked the streets, and I joined with Guyanese who looked on the People's Progressive Party on the jargon as an alternative. And on the 5th of October 1992, we had salvation. We came with the land, time for change, restoration of democracy. And my friends, where we are in 2015 is the answer. It tells you a restoration of democracy allowed us to achieve what we achieved in 2015. That is what democracy provides for the Guyanese people. And today, the biggest threat to democracy is this bunch of miscreants, this bunch of the anti-democratic, this bunch of still dictatorially inclined PNC, APNU, and AFC. And I say to you, if we are going to forget the past, we need to forget them too. Let them get behind us as we push on with the job of making Guyana great and making this country even more appealing to Guyanese and to ensuring the future of Guyana, the future for ourselves, our children, and for generations to come. That is the message of the People's Progressive Party Civic. We have to continue progressing this country. Kwame said two things: choice and the future. And I want to talk about the future tonight. Amanas, let's sit down, because I want to weave this vision of the People's Progressive Party tonight. I want to tell you here in Kitty what we intend to have done. Hold on. What we intend to have done over the years. What we intend to do over the 5 years in the new government and further in the years and decades to come. Because the People's Progressive Party has the vision of what Guyana needs and where Guyana is going to go, and more importantly, how it's going to get there. And always we must remember to compare and to contrast all those who present themselves as alternatives and ask the question, what are you offering? Where are we going to go with you? How are we going to get there? What is going to be done? And I will tell you tonight about the People's Progressive Party vision. My friends, residents of Kitty, it starts with our economy. When Granger left in 1992, I said it, not a single word about the future, not a single word about where Guyana is going to be the day after. All was a litany of woes. The only thing Granger did not say when he finished his speech was, we in the PNC caused this. We are responsible. That's the only thing he left out. But anyone in Parliament that day who was listening and knew the history of 28 years of rigging and frigging this country know exactly who was to blame. They know it was the People's National Congress. And I want to make this point. I want to stress this point. I want to hammer home this point. It is the same, the identical bunch of brigands who are pretending today that they will turn this place around. They destroyed it. The PPP restored it. And they're asking you to give us another opportunity. And I'm saying to you, to do what? To do what? And it is reasonable to assume, old dog, you don't get new tricks. And you could assume that they are going to do identically what they did. Can you imagine when this was a nightmare to wake up with Granger and Nagamutu in the same bed? But it's worse than that. Could you imagine a government led by the two of them being in charge of wages, being in charge of setting prices, being in charge of giving license, being in charge of policy that dictates appointments, who get what? Do you remember the history of the PNC and the commanding heights of the economy and the disaster that they unveiled on Guyana with their commanding heights of the economy? And I want to say to you, that is not the vision of the People's Progressive Party Civic. We intend, my friends, to continue the glorious history of achievements of the People's Progressive Party in the years to come. Uninterrupted growth in the economy. Uninterrupted growth in the economy. And I say to all those who pushing the PNC line, let it stuff up. At the end of the day, the speakers have said it cannot be denied. The statistics are there, the proof is there, the evidence is there. 9 years and counting of uninterrupted economic growth. Nobody else, no other country in this English-speaking CARICOM has been able to achieve what we in the People's Progressive Party achieved. And we bring that track record to you. We bring the technical expertise, and we are bringing, most importantly, a commitment of this party to serve the people of this country and ensure that progress continues into the future. I said it is the economy that comes. And the growth of the economy is what provides for all the wide range of benefits that we are enjoying here today. All of the benefits that we are enjoying, it flows from the increased economic growth that is taking place in Guyana today. Economic growth, 9 consecutive years, uninterrupted. That is what allows us to do what we have done so far in Guyana. For the public servants, for workers in this country, every year since 1992, like dogma, as sure as day follows night, workers have received increases in salary every single year that the good Lord has put the PPP at the helm of the people and government in Guyana. Every single year. You ask Granger, ask Greenwich, ask UPNU, ask AFC. Are they prepared to make those pledges to you? Are they prepared to say to you that as the challenger, we can do better and we can assure you that you will continue to have increases in wages every single year that the good Lord has done? And so far, where that is concerned, utter silence, spurious claims of increases that they will offer to different segments of the Guyanese economy. And every time they say that, they go into the 10th Parliament and they do constructively everything possible to reduce what the promise they have made to naught. We are going to increase wages in the sugar industry, and then they promptly cut the budget to deal with the issues in the sugar sector. We are going to make university education free, and then they immediately go into Parliament and cut out the loans that are available to students at the University of Guyana. We are going to develop renewable energy, and they go right into Parliament and they frustrate and deny the PPP's attempt to have cheap renewable energy here in Guyana. Everything related to this economy, and I hate to say this, but it is evident, so small-minded are these people that they only feel that if we make the government look bad, if we make the PPP look bad, it's going to be good for them. And the question as to whether it is good for Guyanese people, the Guyanese economy, is not addressed in their tomfoolery. They have betrayed the trust of all of those people who put them there in Parliament. And this continues, this betrayal of trust. In 1986, they put on the breadline thousands of Guyanese, many of them their supporters, and all of them the fancy word retrenchment. And they were threatening the bauxite industry. If in 1994 the PNC was still in power, you could rest assured they would have privatized the bauxite industry, and they would have turned all 7,000 Londoners out of work and put them also on the breadline. My friends, the rain is here, but even rain cannot stop us. Even rain cannot stop us. We have a message for the Guyanese people. We have a message to the people of Guyana, a message to the residents of Kitty, a message that will not be silenced by APNU, by the AFC, by the PNC, a message that will be heard and will continue to be heard all over Guyana. We will develop this economy. Already, the signs are there. Already, the instances and the specific ways in which the People's Progressive Party will develop this economy, they are unveiling before our very eyes. Just outside here, in the Atlantic, the Exxon Mobil is engaged in their task of drilling for oil and gas. Soon Guyana will be another oil and gas producer. Soon the benefits of the oil and gas resources will flow to the Guyanese people, because the People's Progressive Party believes that there must be creation of wealth, there must be economic growth, and the economic growth is going to sustain all the benefits that the Guyanese people have enjoyed over the last 23 years. Yes, over the last 23 years, benefits that have flowed from the improvement and the expansion in our economy. And I want to assure you, in the future, in the years to come, more and more benefits will continue flowing to the people of Guyana, because the economy for us is where it matters. We are not here to chase away investors. We are not here to tell the Chinese, to tell the Indians, and to say to them, we don't want your money. We know that the development of our economy needs to be financed by investors. And let me tell you, the treatment that the PMC and the APNU and the AFC did to Site Global and to Blackstone when they sought to invest their money into the Amila Falls hydropower is something that we're going to take a long time to recover. We have to develop this country, and it cannot be done without investments from overseas, investments locally, and investment overseas. And I will say to you tonight, any government, any challenger who feels that they can indeed abuse investors, they can indeed gossip investors, that they are looking for a deterioration in this economy, and they will have the commanding heights of another bankrupt economy, another 1992 visited on the people of this beautiful country. And we are saying, my friends, this alternative that the APNU and the AFC is trying to foist on you, the Guyanese people, it must be exposed for what it is. Nothing more than trickery, nothing more than mockery, nothing more than false promises. They cannot deliver the goods. They have no right in the ring with the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration challenging us, the incumbent, to run this country for another 5 years. on the work that we have done, on the values we have imbued, on the hope that we have created, on the future that we speak of, that Guyanese could look forward to with expectation, with strong hopes and aspirations that our future will be realized. The People's Progressive Party Civic stands supreme. No one can challenge this party on its record. No one can challenge this party on its progress it has created here in Guyana. That is a record past denial. It is a record for all to see. And so, my friends, the future is what May the 11th is all about. I know there are those who, just like in 1992, essentially said, we don't care what the PNC did, we still supporting them. And there are people here today in Kitty and in Guyana who are like that. They say, don't bother us with the facts. We don't need to know the facts. As far as we concerned, PNC could do anything. We still want them to rule. But my friends, they are a disappearing minority. Fewer and fewer people are being bewildered. Fewer and fewer people are being tricked. Fewer and fewer people are adhering to this nonsense of slavish devotion to a party like APNU AFC that is all about doom, destruction, and ruination. People are getting wiser. People are understanding more. And with the People's Progressive Party at the helm, we are showing Guyanese that things can be different. Things will be different. Things must be different. PPP must continue in office. In 1 year, my friends, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of independence. In the year 2016, Guyana will be celebrating 50 years of independence. And I want to say to you, when we recognize how we have wasted 28 years of those 50 years on this bunch of miscreants, scallywags, rogues, and vagabonds called the PNC, now called the APNU AFC. 28 years we have wasted post-independence. And we ask ourselves today, we ask ourselves tonight, had we 50 years of the People's Progressive Party, you can imagine where Guyana would be today? Can you imagine what we have done in 23 years if we had 50 years post-independence to do it? And all I can do is commiserate with Guyana and Guyanese that we wasted 28 years. But we have learned. We have learned. And 1992, 1997, 2001, 2006, 2011, Guyanese said, we have learned our lesson. And we are learning that the future belongs to the People's Progressive Party Civic. The future belongs to the PPP. And with the PPP in charge, indeed, we can look forward to a glorious chapter in the history of Guyana. And so, my friends, tonight, as we bring this meeting to a close, as we fast approach, in 30 days, we will be on May the 11th voting for a new government. I am saying to you, let us not forget the past. Let us not forget where we were. Let us not forget how we have gotten to where we are today, and let us ensure that progress continues under the People's Progressive Party Civic. Long live the PPP! Long live the People's Progressive Party Civic! And may the 11th of May 2015 produce 5 more years of glorious future of Guyana under the PPP. My friends, members, residents of Kitty, thank you and good night. I've journeyed afar today to participate in this PPP civic public meeting. I want to bring you greetings from all the other parts of Guyana, where meetings similar to this one are taking place, and where hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of Guyanese are energized by the messages of the People's Progressive Party Civic. My friends, all over Guyana, in every corner of this country, the People's Progressive Party is taking the message. And my friends, it's a message that resonates. It's a message that Guyanese can relate to, because it is steeped in the history, it is steeped in the performance, it is steeped in the track record of the People's Progressive Party, the PPPC administration. We can't escape a consideration of the past. The old people say, when you forget the past, you just end up having to relive it. And like Kwame has said, and many other speakers have said, at many other meetings, the past of this Guyana under the People's National Congress is a nightmare that none of us could reasonably want to have fall on another generation of Guyanese. It has happened. It has happened. And we can't deny that. But I tell you, what we can do, like Kwame said, is to ensure that it never ever happens again. Never allow the PNC, AFNU, AFC, whatever name they have, we know what they're all about. Their history is revealing. My friends, residents of Kitty, it isn't long ago. They want you to feel that you have short memories and one can readily forget. But I tell you this, that 28 years, the 28 years had to be recovered by the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration. They had to be corrected. They had to be changed. We had to People's National Congress. And I tell you, my friends, even the PNC today must be amazed at the miracle, because Granger himself, in his last days as the foreign minister, as the finance minister of Guyana, did not in any way, form or fashion held out the promise of a future. All he could say to us Guyanese in Parliament, all he could mention is how difficult the situation was, how dire Guyana had become. Not one word about the future, not one word, not a sentence, no sentiment about what Guyanese can look forward to. He left this country without hope. He left this country bankrupt, uncreditworthy, and without any hope for the future. And I tell you this, the reason why they are fighting so much today has a lot to do with what they're fighting for. In 1992, they were glad to get out from the spotlight of being the real betrayers of the history of this country, the betrayers of the people of this country. But today, in 2015, as they feast their greedy eyes filled with envy and greed on the Guyana of today, all they can think about is putting their filthy paws once more on government in Guyana. And I tell you this, how often are we Guyanese going to allow this set of pseudo make-believe leaders to take charge and to destroy and then hand over a devastated country until the PPP restore? This cycle ended in 1992. They mashed up, they broke up, and we restored. And we must never, ever have that cycle repeated in this lovely land of Guyana. The history. When we examine the history, it says a lot. Comrade Chetty started out on the grace. He had the vision of a united Guyana. He had the commitment to serve the Guyanese people. And before the independence was even achieved, Burnham and the PNC had started the rule and divide. Their history, my friends, the history of the PNC is a history born of divide and rule, is a history born of divisiveness, is a history born of program. This is what destroyed the united PPP in 1953 and ended us up with a PPP on the Dragon and a PPP on the Burnham, which later became the People's National Congress. That is how the PNC started. And over the 28 years since independence, we have seen them consolidate this naked attack on Guyanese, this naked attack on Guyana, as they sought to consolidate, to rule, to do what they have to do